everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be probably my most requested video I've gotten as of recently, which is how to start a YouTube channel and how to maintain a YouTube channel. And I've gotten so many direct messages from you all on both Twitter and Instagram, so I thought I might as well just sit down in front of the camera to tell you guys my tips and advice and kind of like my story on how I started my YouTube channel instead of responding back to each and every one of you. So I have all of your questions written down on both my journal and my phone that I'm going to be answering some of those for you today, as well as some other things that I wanted to kind of add on in this video. So if you want to see all about how to start a YouTube channel and what it takes, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you start a channel is pick out your channel name. Obviously it's my name. I think it's very self-explanatory, but you want to pick something that's going to be easy to brand yourself with. I want it to be easy for people to see me across platforms on both social media and on YouTube and be able to find me very easily. When I started my channel, I was Kevin Joe Nick 323 because I was obsessed with the Jonas Brothers in high school. It's a long story, but I did not want people to see me as that, especially now because I'm not like that anymore. So I really think that picking your name and using your name as your channel name and your brand is really important. Pick something that you are comfortable with and you want to be branded as. So that's my first suggestion. Again, if you are kind of doing a beauty channel, definitely would recommend your name so you can kind of cross promote yourself on different platforms of social media, which I think is the easiest way to do. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into equipment. I've had a lot of questions about what I use and what I suggest for you guys who are just starting out. So the first question I have is, what would be your suggestions for a camera, both low end and high end? So my low end suggestion is definitely your phone. If you have an iPhone 6 or up, you are going to be good to go on your phone. If you don't have a camera or a webcam that you want to use, there are so many people on YouTube that I watch that use their phone and their quality is absolutely amazing. If you do want to get a DSLR camera that is a little bit more low end but still does absolutely beautiful work, I would recommend the Canon Rebel T3i or the T6i. If you are doing a beauty YouTube channel, you want to make sure that you have a camera that's going to autofocus. That was my biggest mistake when I first bought my camera. I bought the Canon 60D when I first started and I hated it because I could not autofocus. So what I mean by that is if I put something up close, you can see my hand, and if I take it back, it's going to autofocus back to my face. So it's really important, especially when you're showing products or doing things up close and then want to do something back far away, that you have a camera that's going to autofocus so you don't have to do it manually. There are a lot of people that do it manually, but it just takes a lot of time and a lot more effort to do that. So I really recommend a camera that's going to autofocus. One that I am using right now is a Canon 70D. It's a very expensive camera. I do have the kit lens, but what I recommend for you guys is buy a body. Definitely get the Canon Rebel T3i. Just get the body and then find a lens that you are going to be satisfied with. There are so many out there. There's so many for like making the background really blurry or having like a really wide background. If you want people to see a lot of your background, it really depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to be investing in a new lens very soon. I'm really excited for you all to see the quality change, but I think that's my biggest piece of advice is get the Canon Rebel T3i, the body, and then find a lens that you are comfortable with and that you want for your videos. The next question is, what are your suggestions for lights, both low end and high end? My biggest suggestion for lights is definitely natural lighting. I wish I had natural lighting. I have a little bit of a window space over here, but it's definitely not enough to kind of create a natural light onto my face, especially when I'm doing makeups. So what I have is a ring light in front of me that is standing up on a tripod from DVE Store, which I will link down below if you guys haven't checked it out. You can always find some on Amazon that are pretty affordable. I think the most inexpensive one I've seen recently is like $100, $120, roughly around there. You can also find ones that attach to your lens. I don't know how much light those produce, but I love having my ring light. That's the one thing I started out with, was a ring light, and it's made a dramatic difference in my videos and in the quality of lighting in my videos. Now I also have soft boxes and umbrella lights, so you will see one right here. That is my umbrella light, kind of shining light back here, so I have equal like brightness back behind me. I obviously use my vanity mirror as another form of light, but there are a lot of different kinds of umbrella lights and soft boxes that are on Amazon. I'll link a couple down below for you all if you are interested in finding some. I think the pair that I got off of Amazon for the umbrella lights was like $50 for two of them, which is really awesome, and they do create a lot of good lighting, so I'll leave those down below if you were interested. Another question, what would be your suggestions on how to edit videos? So when I first started YouTube, I started editing on iMovie. I know a lot of people have PCs and I don't know the editing software for that. I think it's like Adobe Premiere or something like that. I'm not really sure. I know it comes with a lot of PC computers, but I've never owned a PC, so I've always been an iMovie person. As of recently, I've actually changed up to Final Cut Pro. It's a big expense. I think it was like $350, but it's made a huge difference in my editing, and I think it's definitely worthwhile if you are very passionate about filming and editing and, you know, the whole process of what it takes to kind of produce a video, which I love. I really want to start getting into more editing, and I think Final Cut Pro is the best thing to do that. But if you are on a budget, iMovie is the best thing. It comes with your computer, so you don't have to pay for anything extra, and it's very user friendly, so anyone can use it. The next question I got is, how do I edit my thumbnails? I use a website called PicMonkey.com, which again I will leave linked down below. It's kind of like a really easy way of using like InDesign or Photoshop, just like online. I do pay for the like Premiere version. I think it's like $4.99 a month, but you have access to all the fonts, all the different doodads it comes with, and it's super easy. I pretty much just take a screenshot from my video and then upload it to PicMonkey and do whatever I want with it. You really want to make sure that your thumbnails are super engaging and bright and big fonts. From personal experience, I think a lot of thumbnails that don't have fonts on them or a lot of bright colors don't get as many views as some of the other videos I have posted, so it's really important to make a catchy thumbnail and have a catchy title along with it so people can find your videos and want to click on them. So PicMonkey is my favorite tool, super easy to use, and you create awesome thumbnails with it. So the next question I get a lot is, where do I find my background music? It is so important. Probably one of the most important things to do if you are using music on YouTube is to use royalty-free music. I know I made that mistake multiple times when I first started, and my videos would get flagged because of copyright issues, but I do use no copyright sounds here on YouTube now. They have an amazing channel and a lot of an amazing background music for you guys to use. A lot of YouTubers use that channel for music, and you will probably recognize a lot of them if you go to their channel and check it out, but that's what I definitely recommend. There are also a lot of websites on Google that you can type in for royalty-free and copyright-free music that you just might have to like page through. It takes a long time for me, at least, to find music that I like and that I want to use, so it just takes a little time, but no copyright sounds is my absolute favorite. So I kind of want to go back and talk about branding again. I know I kind of mentioned it a little bit when talking about picking a channel name, but I think branding is super important. It's what people are going to remember you by and how people are going to perceive you on the internet. So the way I think it's easiest to brand yourself is by your thumbnails and by your background. So a lot of people ask me how you pick out a background. It's really just personal preference, but you want to make sure that it's something that's going to represent you very well. So I used to have my makeup as my background in my old apartment, and I really liked that, but I feel like it was just a little bit too clustered. So I do have a little bit more space back here now. I know a lot of people just use fabric. I like doing that with my makeup tutorials, so you guys can just really focus on the makeup and not anything behind me. But I do like having a background in my room because I feel like it's a little bit more personal. You guys can see a little bit more of myself, and it's a really good way to kind of personalize and brand yourself again on your videos. So I think branding and choosing your background is super important, and it's also very fun. The next question I get a lot is, how often should you upload? I feel like when you first start, you should at least try and upload once a week. I know when I first started my channel, I was a full-time student doing a lot of extracurricular activities and, you know, being in a sorority and doing all these clubs and things. It was very hard for me to find time to sit down and film, but it was something I loved and that I was super passionate about, so I was able to make time for myself. Now, I had it on my schedule. I use a planner a lot. I think time management is super important, but when you're first starting, I definitely recommend one time a week. If you want to gain a bigger audience and have people see that you post consistently, I think upping that to maybe 2 to 3 times a week is super important and will really help your channel grow a lot. I've definitely noticed a huge increase in my subscribers once I started increasing my upload dates to 2 times a week. So I actually have a schedule now. I don't really upload on random days. I upload on Thursdays and Sundays at noon, and I find that it really helps me to stay consistent and stay on top of my ish. If you love it, you're gonna make time and find the time to do it. So I definitely recommend at least once a week, but if you can do 2 to 3 times a week, you got it. Okay, so my most asked question that I've gotten probably on every single message I've gotten from you guys is how to gain exposure and how do you grow your channel. So there's no special formula for growing your channel and getting exposure. I think it's really important to stay consistent and persistent with all of your uploads and being true to yourself, because people are going to be attracted to your personality and what you're producing when they see your channel pop up on the recommended feed or on the side tab. And everyone grows differently. I know there's some people that I follow that grew super fast, and there's other people that I follow that are growing very slowly, but are still growing and still having an amazing time doing their channel. And what I think is really important as well is to not focus on the numbers. I know that can be a really big mental roadblock for a lot of people, but no matter what, as long as you're happy with it and you're having fun producing content for your channel, that's all that matters. When you're doing what you love and people see that, they're gonna be attracted to you no matter what. So just be passionate about what you're doing and create amazing content that people are gonna wanna watch. I know it can be really mentally challenging and really hard sometimes and feel really discouraging when you're not growing or you're doing all this amazing work and you're not seeing any change, but it's gonna come no matter what. You just have to stay positive, stay consistent, and stay persistent with your uploads, and just be who you are and be proud of what you're producing. The next question I get a lot is, how do I deal with hate? You just have to have a really strong backbone. I think it's really important to remember is that people who are leaving nasty remarks and comments on your videos are doing it behind a computer screen. And that's what I think to myself is like 9 times out of 10, I doubt anyone would say that to my face. Whatever they say on my videos, I doubt that they would be able to say that to my face. And if they could, good for them. They have the confidence to do that. But 95% of the people who say nasty, mean things will never be able to say that to someone's face, and they're doing that because they're able to hide behind a screen and be mean. I don't let it get to me. I know there's every once in a while there's some rude comments that are really like, really? I just like laugh it off because it's like, why do you have time to just put someone else down? I've never thumbs down someone's video. I always thumbs up people's videos because I know it's really hard to make videos. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and the hate just doesn't matter once you see all the love pouring in from all of the amazing subscribers that you're gonna get. So it really doesn't matter to me very much. Sometimes it sucks. You just gotta make sure that you are positive, confident, and that no one's gonna get in your way. And last but not least, I wanna talk about social media. It kind of goes along with branding, but make sure you are kind of posting consistently on social media. Make sure that you are cross-promoting yourself on all platforms because there's so many people on every single platform, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Facebook, that don't have one or the other. So it's really important for people to either find you on Instagram and maybe follow you on Twitter and then follow you on YouTube, or find you on YouTube and then follow you on Instagram. So there's a lot of ways to cross-promote, which is why, again, I recommend having your channel name as just your name. Make sure to cross-promote your videos on all social media platforms so people can find you and watch your videos, and that's another really easy way to gain exposure. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys all found it very helpful. If you guys have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can leave them down below, or you can direct message me on any of my social media accounts. I'd be happy to answer any questions or go over anything else that you might have further concerns on. So again, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!